Okay, so for 10.2, we're evaluating functions. I am telling you right now, it is a function. So you don't have to worry about that right now, okay? What I give you will be a function. You don't have to worry about whether or not it is. Okay, we're just going to evaluate them. So we have some steps. Step 1, we are going to substitute the number inside the parentheses in for the variable, and I will show you what I mean in just a second. So we're going to substitute, and then step 2, simplify. So we're going to substitute, and then we're going to simplify the expression. 2 steps. Easy, right? For now. Okay, what do I mean by the parentheses? Okay, when we write a function, from now on, you will see functions written as f of x equals x plus 3. Okay? This f of x is the same as what we used to call y. So this is the same as y. F of x and y are the same idea. However, if you ever see it written this way, that means that it is for sure a function. Okay? So if you ever see it written this way, it means it is for sure a function. That's why we use f, but sometimes they'll use other letters too. So it's not always f. Usually it is. Okay? I believe, yes. The only reason why it's not always f is because sometimes you have 2 functions, and so a lot of times it'll be f and g. If you ever see a letter with the parentheses, it means it's a function. Okay? Now, what is this? We call this a function of x. Whatever's inside is actually our variable. Did you guys notice how the x is on the inside and that's our variable? So that means that this is a function of x, which means that everything I plug in for x. Okay? Does that make sense? Kind of? Let's look at an example. Example 1. Here's my function. In this case, my function is not an f function, it's a g function. But it says g of x. That's how we read it. G of x equals negative x plus 4. What's my variable? X. Because it's inside the parentheses. Whatever's inside the parentheses is what my variable is. Okay? I want to evaluate g of negative 12. So what do you think I'm going to do? We are going to plug in negative 12 for x. So we would write this. G of. Okay, so g of negative 12, that's how we read it, is equal to. There's a negative x, so negative of negative 12 plus 4. We just substituted x in with negative 12. This we know how to do, right? Minus the negative becomes positive. So g of negative 12 is equal to 12 plus 4, which is 16.
Wait, what? What about the other?
So we would actually write this as our answer. Let me rewrite this. G of negative 12 equals 16. Okay? Because we have to specify now that I plugged in 12 for this one. So the function using negative 12 equals 16. You should only get one answer. The g of negative 12 is just telling us what we plugged in for x. So it's telling you here, I plugged in negative 12. Okay? Let's try g of 9. So I'm going to separate this just so my work doesn't get confused. I'm going to use another color. Okay. So g of 9. G of 9 is equal to, where do I plug in 9? In for x. So it's going to be negative 9 plus 4. So g of 9 is equal to negative 9 plus 4. So what does g of 9 equal? G of 9 is equal to negative 5. That's all we're doing. It's just a different notation now. But we've been doing this before, right? So example 2, h of x is equal to x squared minus 5. I want you to find h of 6. So we're going to take 6 and plug it in for what? For x. So we write h of 6 equals, and I want you to put in parentheses every time, 6 squared minus 5. So I just substituted 6 in for x. So h of x equals, what's 6 squared? 36 minus 5. So h of x is equal, or h of 6 is equal to 31. That's my answer. Can you do B? Do B by yourself. Destiny, what'd you do first?
I plugged it in.
You plugged it in, so I got h of negative 3 is equal to what?
Negative 3 squared.
Negative 3 squared minus
5.
5. Okay, Bobby, what's negative 3 squared?
9.
Positive 9. So h of negative 3 is equal to 9 minus 5. And everybody, what is 9 minus 5? 4. So, where? Oh, h of negative 3. Thank you. Now, if I plugged in positive 3, would I also get 4? Is that okay? Yeah, it's okay. As long as I don't plug in the same x and get two different numbers. Okay? But these are all functions, so we know it's going to work. Okay, example 3. Example 3, g of w. So what's the variable in this case? It's not x, it's what? It's w. Equals 3w squared plus 2w. So we're actually going to be plugging it in twice. So g of 2 is equal to, I need to plug in 2 for w anytime I see w. So that is 3 times 2 squared plus 2 times 2.
So it's 3 times 2 squared?
3 times 2, and the 2 is the what's being squared because that square is attached to the w.
Because the simplest is, right, you have to like put 12. You have to divide it.
You have to do exponents first.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is 3 times what? What's 2 squared?
4.
4 plus
37.
2 times 2. We're just following order of operations now. Okay, next is multiplication. 3 times 4 gives me 12 plus 2 times 2. 4.
G squared equals 16.
So g of 2 is what? 16.
Let's do B by ourselves.
Do B by yourself, please. Matthew, what did you get when you plugged it in? Just tell me how you plugged it in. Okay, so you got g of negative 4 equals 3 times negative 4 squared plus 2 times negative 4. Good. Okay, Carlos, what's the next step? Okay, I don't want the answer, I just want the next step. Okay, you're skipping a step though, Bobby.
3 times 16.
Yeah, we have to do the exponents first. So 3 times negative 4 squared gives me 16. Plus 2 times negative 4. Then I do my multiplication. So 3 times 16 gives me what, Carlos? What did you get? 48? 2 times negative 4. Negative 8. So g of negative 4 equals 40. Who got that correct? Excellent. Let's do example 4, part A. You can do it with me if you want. Go ahead and see how you do. F of P equals P plus 4 over 2. I want you to find F of 8. So we plug in F of 8 equals 8 plus 4 over 2. Okay, Okay, what part do I have to do first? Do you guys remember?
Divide.
I have to do the top part first. Because this is like a grouping, right? Like it's in parentheses.
Oh, yeah.
What's 8 plus 4?
12.
12 over 2. So add 8 equals 6. Okay? So what about B? F of negative 3
It's a fraction.
equals negative 3 plus 4 all over 2. F of negative 3 equals, what's negative 3 plus 4? 1 half. Can I reduce any more? No, so that's my answer.
I got that right too.
Yeah.
Just proud of myself.
Okay. Last one, because there are a couple questions on your homework that ask you this, so I just want you to be able to know what they're asking. Okay. They say, ask us, find the range of each function for the given domain. Here's your domain. Domain is which values, x's or y's? X's. So we just plug each of these in 3 times. So we have to find g of negative 4. We have to find g of negative 6. And we have to find g of 2. We find each of those values, so let's do it because we have time. 8 minus 3 times negative 4. So that's 8 minus, what's negative 3 times negative 4?
1.
Negative 3 times negative 4? Positive 12. And 8 plus 12 gives me? 20. Okay, what about negative 6? 8 minus 3 times negative 6. So that's 8. Negative 3 times negative 6 gives me positive 18. 8 plus 18 is 26. G of 2. 8 minus 3 times 2 equals 8 minus 6, which equals 2. Now they want us to find the range, which means we have to list it like they did the domain. So range equals curly brackets. What do you guys think? Do you think I need to list them in order from smallest to biggest? Or the same order that they're given in? Let's do it in the same order. So that's going to be 20, 26, and 2. And that's your answer.